Hey, so hopefully I can get this all on video, but I seriously have my doubts. I got a box that came from DrSkull's Raw Comics. I think this is a YouTube name. 80 comic books. So I already know what's coming, but I always like to look through them myself, of course, and share them with you guys, and why I actually picked this lot for 40 bucks flat, so it's 50 cents each comic. And let's start looking at them, and we'll see, you know, why did I choose to get this instead of just leaving it? Well, let's find out. All right, so we got, first off, I didn't bring my glasses out here, so I can't see the timer. So hopefully somebody out there yell at me when it's about 10 minutes, because I like to keep it short and sweet and simple. We got Blue Devil, number 20. I've always been kind of interested in Blue Devil. I've read one of them. It was pretty good. We got Marvel Universe Update. Now, I had all of this back in the 80s, and at some point, I don't know if I got rid of it myself or if my little brother did, but I guess I didn't. I may have gotten rid of it because I thought, well, we got the internet now. Pfft, we don't need it. We need this stuff instead. So that's why I'd rather go back to this. There's a lot of Marvel Universe updates and Marvel Universe period in here. Pretty good little collection from what I saw, and I hope it's complete, but we never know. Maybe I'll be able to get to a place and get the rest of them. We also have one of my favorite superheroes from the Charlton era called Blue Beetle. Now, Blue Beetle is kind of like Charlton's Batman, and Captain Atom was kind of Superman. All right. I mean, he was just a rich guy, had lots of tech, did lots of gymnastics. So yeah, these are the actually carried over from Charlton Comics. I remember having the comic book with these guys in them. They're the Madmen. We have another Marvel Universe. This is the deluxe edition. Now, there was a different one, that Marvel Universe, probably a dozen issues of that were from earlier, like 1984, I think. This is from a later period when they deluxed it. Oh, and it's a carryover front and back. So if there's no backboard, I can share the front and back. Let me see if I want to do it with the updates. There was a backboard in this one. Yeah, there was backboards in those. I don't want to waste your time taking them out of the bags, but it is a neat little wraparound thing. There's a backboard on this one. But we have the Magnus, that most of us don't remember him like that, but I do. I remember when he took over for Charles Xavier. We got the Silver Sentinel version of Iron Man, which is pretty cool. Human Torch to Kazai. Oh, okay, we got one where I can actually open it up and show you the full thing. So it's kind of like they're running, and I think, if memory serves me well, if you put it like back to back to back, like, yeah, this is the next one. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't 100% see. Okay, like here's 6 and 7, and what number is this? 4. And this one is number 3. So like they would actually see how this Dr. Octopus's arm right there. So they actually are continuing on and on and on and on and on. It's like Dazzle's arm got cut off though. But you can see from Dr. Octopus's tentacle that it goes all the way over to this issue. So there is some carryover from one issue to another. If you were to stretch these out and wrap them around on your walls, you'd have a nice little wallpaper, if nothing else. Here's with Cannonball and Captain America, Beast. So this is from Beast to Cleo. Again, we got probably somebody's wing from previous issue, some pieces left over from a previous issue. So again, if you would open these up back to back to back to back to back, you would have this long running picture. We also had the Book of the Dead. And here's before they were actually, so this is one of the older ones. This is before they became the deluxe edition. So it's like V to Z. And another not deluxe edition. These are the older ones, the very first ones that I know about. So they were updated, I guess, after the Crisis on Infinite Earths. Micronauts, The New Voyage. Now, I was a huge Micronauts fan. The New Voyage was a big letdown, to be honest with you. I read every one of them, and I got every one of them, but it just didn't have the same excitement to it. So we got Action Comics, and this one's a very big issue, actually. That's pretty nice. Number 573. It's a lot in there. Let's see. This is one of those Action Comics where it has like multiple stories in it. We got Superman. And we got oh, that's what made it bigger. There's Mask in the middle. It's like a preview to the Mask comic book series. So that's cool. I got Mask in the middle. Does it say it on the front anywhere? I don't see it. Do you? Usually it would tell you if there's a special, you know, extra special in it. Now, Sugar and Spike is before my time. Most of these comics, I've been told, are from 60 through like 91 is the newest. Ghostly Tale, not my wheelhouse, but I mean, you know, it's kind of neat to get these boxes with everything in them. Somebody would be like, oh, you should have showed that a little bit longer. All right. So evidently there's a ghost that's helping the guy out. I don't know. And usually it's not my wheelhouse, but again, the cool thing about getting these kind of boxes are you'll get things that you usually would just not pick out. And I know that if I went all the way up to Wilmington again, I can get 40-cent comics, but I would be like, all right, well, I'm going to get this. And also, I don't know. This is something I won't find all these up there. Yeah, Mr. Miracle. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I've never read one. I used to read some Firestorm stuff. So I had this comic book back in the day. The way he's standing is just so ridiculous. It looks so like, I'm a prima donna. It just looks weird to me. I remember that as I wouldn't say a kid. I guess, gosh, was I in early college back then? Nope. This is actually 85. So, I was still in high school. And I just remember it being such a weird cover. And ironically, this next comic, I thought I would have had it by now, but I was surprised I don't. So Rom with him and Torpedo. This is number 22. I just read about, like, it was Rom 25, I think, 26, somewhere around there where Starshine dies. So this may be where she dies, but Torpedo may have gotten buried in this issue. So I read a little bit about what happened before, Starshine died. And it was talking about Torpedo being replaced by Diarrhea. So there we go. I can go back and actually read that part. We got a Batman that I heard was a pretty popular cover. The Diabolical Dr. Death. I never really read a lot of Batman when I was a kid. If you're getting a little tired, you put some pep in your step with some Archie. Archie's always a good thing. They got these stickers on, which don't bother me at all, but evidently that's one of the reasons. I remember when he went over, he said that he couldn't sell it because it had stickers on it or something. It doesn't bother me as long as you didn't pee on it. And then somebody else says about cigarette smoke. I was like, yeah, I guess cigarette smoke would bother me. I guess I got lucky on those. Here's a Sugar and Spike and Everything Nike. And then I ripped off the cover while I was pulling it over. Here's another one. It's pretty, yeah. Obviously the cover came off of that one. Here's another Sugar and Spike. It looks like they're kind of like, I don't know, like twin versions of Dennis the Menace. I don't think I've ever read anything Sugar and Spike. I kind of get the premise of it, they're not superheroes. And here's one of the original Marvel Universe, not the deluxe edition. See, the cover goes on to the back. I think that they did have an ongoing thing because, see that hand right there? So in the previous issue, Mr. Fantastic must have been stretching his hand out. M comes before N. So, yeah, we got that idea. I wonder if they set it up like that at the very beginning, or they just kind of, from issue to issue, they decided to carry over something. Star Brand. One time I had all of these, and I gave them to Hunter, and I'm not going to ask for them back, so that's cool. I'm just going to rebuild my collection slowly, not too fast, because number one, I still don't have a lot of room. Dazzler. I actually had this when I was a kid. I always thought the covers were really cool. They were really almost like a painting, but sorry, I didn't realize my voice was about to go. It's been cold today, and I think this is probably messing my allergies up, and I'm looking at my fingers going, ugh. All right, Vigilante. It's supposed to be there's something in here. Oh, it's the Baxter paper. Oh, cool. Saturday morning cartoons. The Snorks. I used to love the Snorks and the Smurfs. Not gonna lie. I watched Mr. T. Oh, I couldn't miss Kid Video. That was the coolest thing on TV. You can't even buy the DVDs that now because they use so many music videos that was making the storyline that pushed the narrative. And they were always singing other people's songs, so they really can't even make DVDs of that. It's so sad. I know there's places online to get copies of it, but they're really poor quality. But we'll never get a crisp studio copy of Kid Video because of all the copyright issues, unfortunately. So, I don't know anything about Going Bananas. I do remember Spider-Man and his Amazing Friends. I definitely watched that. I didn't watch the Pink Panther and Sons. I always loved to get in the issues where they had the previews to what cartoons are coming out. It was like, oh yes, and I would like sit down and I would make a little. I'm such a nerd. I would actually sit there and make like a piece of paper and having like the times, like 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, and then I would like go down and put in what I want to watch, and then it's like, well, maybe okay, like if Pink Panther and Sons, if there was nothing else in the time slot, I'd put it over here. If that time slot got filled up, then oh well, here's the other thing to it. Oh yeah, put the channels on there. If it was a rerun, just go over to that channel. I've always made spreadsheets even before there were spreadsheets. I'm a nerd. Hey, so we're at the 10 minute, 39, 40, 41, 40. Okay, I'm not gonna count part. So I don't want to bore anybody to death, and I know my attention span is like that of a squirrel. Well, actually cat. So I will go ahead and continue this on the next video. And thank you for spending 10 times your lifespan with me, 10 minutes with me. It just feels like 10 times your lifespan. I'll see you in the next one, okay? See you next week.